One of the most advanced countries in the world today is Qatar, and many people wonder how the country that hosted the 2022 FIFA World Cup changed in the last 50 years from desert without people to having futuristic cities. In this video, we tell you how it began and the most futuristic city born in Qatar today. But first, please like and subscribe to this channel, and then sit back and relax. The capital of Qatar, Doha, is a futuristic city that extends eastward from the desert peninsula along the Persian Gulf. It gives the impression of being covered in tall contemporary skyscrapers and cutting-edge technology. But things weren't always this way. When Qatar gained its independence in 1971, there were only about 120,000 residents. Today, there are approximately 3 million. With its little settlements in the middle of the desert and its developing metropolis, Qatar was a completely different place. But because of oil and gas, a true revolution of the nation began in the second part of the 20th century, which has intensified in recent decades. This is how Qatar transformed from a little underdeveloped pearl producer to an energy superpower famed for its cutting-edge finance. By official statistics, Doha is now home to 1,186,023, or roughly one-third of Qatar's total population of 2,985,029. The majority of these residents are migrant workers. However, if you include the towns in its vicinity, Al Rayyan, Al Wakra, Al Dayan, and Sal, the population rises to about 2.5 million, or nearly 85% of the total population of the country, which is concentrated in one coastal region. In recent decades, population growth in Qatar has skyrocketed. 10 years ago, 1,836,676 people were living in the country, as opposed to approximately 3 million today. And in 2002, more than 20 years ago, it was only 640,872. Only 120,000 people lived in Qatar in 1971, the year it gained independence from the United Kingdom. What role do oil and gas play in Qatar? Qatar was a destitute region at the start of the 20th century, devoted mostly to the cultivation and commerce of pearls. However, the first oil wells in Qatar were found in 1939, and production didn't start there until 1949. The country rapidly expanded over the ensuing decades thanks to these revenues, especially in the 1950s and 1960s. A large portion of its current wealth is derived from the South Pars North Dome natural gas field, which is located in the Persian Gulf and is shared with Iran. In the 1970s, after gaining independence and nationalizing the oil industry, Qatar Petroleum is now a state-owned enterprise. Qatar's per capita income surpassed that of several other countries. According to figures from the World Bank, Qatar's real GDP per capita is currently around $93,500. As a result, according to the CIA World Factbook, it would rank as the 6th richest nation in the world, trailing only Liechtenstein, Monaco, Luxembourg, Singapore, and Ireland. Doha, the future city of Qatar. The most noticeable example of this exponential rise in income and population is Qatar's capital, Doha, where huge skyscrapers with contemporary designs and cutting-edge technology indicate the pace of the metropolis. The Museum of Islamic Art was designed by Chinese-American Yao Mingpei, who was one of the world's top architects. In recent years, Qatari businesses have hired him and other top architects to help shape modern Doha, which incorporates sustainability into its designs. For instance, Musharraf Properties oversaw the construction of Doha's new downtown, a $5.5 billion project that aimed to lessen the city's carbon footprint by limiting the use of cars and utilizing microclimate effects to keep the city cool. Qatar still has a long way to go in terms of environmental stewardship, though, as the nation has one of the highest per capita carbon footprints in the world, with an economy built on oil and gas extraction. The Doha Metro runs underground as well. It is a cutting-edge, driverless transportation system that began in 2019 but is currently under construction as part of a large-scale regional undertaking. The FIFA World Cup 2022 was held in Qatar thanks to Lusail, the smart city. The contentious infrastructure built to accommodate Qatar 2022 includes a city, Lusail, in addition to stunning stadiums. She also doesn't look particularly excited, perhaps because the World Cup ended last year. Only racing aficionados knew of Lusail in 2010, when FIFA selected Qatar as the World Cup's host nation. as it was nothing more than a desert and an international MotoGP track whose attractiveness resided exactly in being surrounded by sand. Only 12 years later, this city created from nothing is already a reality and proof that in this country of luxuries and eccentricities, anything is possible. The smart city that the Arab country has built from scratch for the World Cup is only 15 kilometers from Doha, a large city of 200,000 inhabitants that, in addition to the jewel in the crown, the stadium where the final will be played, already has all the necessary infrastructure to live: residential areas, luxury hotels, shopping centers, hospitals, health centers, businesses, sports, schools, mosques, seaport, and even golf courses. Before the soccer World Cup final, the city of Lusail appeared strangely calm. Wide empty streets, idle concourses, and construction cranes were seen everywhere in the posh district built 12 miles, 20 kilometers, north of the capital Doha that accommodated World Cup fans and hundreds of thousands of city residents. But with the event already underway back then, the empty appearance of the futuristic city is raising questions about how much use it got after more than 1 million soccer fans left the tiny Arabian Gulf nation after the tournament. Lusail City, an empty glow in the desert. It's difficult to overlook Lusail City's glistening skyline and marina when traveling north from Doha. Out of the desert emerge pastel-colored skyscrapers that resemble boxes stacked on top of one another. Wide avenues give way to zigzag buildings, glass domes, and clusters of neoclassical apartment blocks. It is not clear if anyone lives in them. Most are advertised as luxury hotels, apartments, or commercial office spaces. Cranes hang over many buildings. Plans to build Lusail City had been around since 2005, but construction accelerated after Qatar won the rights to host the World Cup 5 years later. Backed by Qatar's $450 billion sovereign wealth fund, the city was designed to be compact and pedestrian-friendly and is connected by the new Doha Metro and light rail. Fahad Al-Jahamri, who manages projects at Qatari Dire, the real estate company behind the city, and is backed by the Qatar Investment Authority, has called Lusail City an extension of Doha, but an autonomous one. Officials have also said the city is part of broader plans that natural gas-rich Qatar has to develop its knowledge economy, an admission of the kind of white-collar professionals the country hopes to attract to the city in the long run. Another Lusail architectural landmark is the Marina Twin Towers, two twin office buildings located in the Marina district built to impress. First, because they are reminiscent of the colorful Lego blocks, but also because some of these are displaced and seem to come out of the building. And they are also astonishing for their amazing views of the Pearl, the artificial archipelago turned into a luxury residential and commercial place where pearl harvests were once carried out before the oil industry became the main engine of the Qatari economy. Among the futuristic architecture of this city in Qatar is the Lusail Sports Arena, a stadium to host sporting events and major concerts, and above all, the iconic Lusail Stadium, the largest in the World Cup, and where the next Sunday, December 18, the final. With the capacity to accommodate 86,000 fans, it is a design created by the prestigious architect Norman Foster's office that is inspired by the traditional Arabic lamp and has been adorned with bowls and Arabic crafts to reflect the heritage and culture of Qatar. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit like, the subscription button, and the notification bell to get notified when new videos are uploaded from this channel. Please share your thoughts about how Qatar changed in the last 50 years from desert without people to futuristic cities in the comment section below. Thank you.